Well, here we are again, talking about things that need to happen within the next 4 years. And this is what really needs to happen within the next 4 years. The first year, we should be finalizing all the shots, hopefully on all Americans. And then, if we can do that, it'll be a sign of us coming back together. When people begin to wear their mask and social distance and take the warnings of the scientists, then we will be back on the road to recovery. And it looks like a lot of people are beginning to do that, regardless of what's going on in the world around the politics. And it looks like the politics are beginning to come out and uh, work across the aisle, as they call it, to get out some packages for the people that are desperately in need of some help. So we will come back together, but we have to do it with this first year. I'm no scientist and all that, but I've been listening and following to what the people are beginning to say about the COVID shots. So, like I said in another episode, that as soon as they get ready and I'm in line, I'm up for the shot. I'm going to go on and take the shot. And I want people to understand that COVID does a lot more to you than what these people think they know. And it's really not something that you want to catch if you don't have to catch it. Because it you never know how it's going to treat you. You never know what it's going to do. You don't know how you're going to come out. Even if the symptoms start to be somewhat light, you don't know how you're going to come out. So it's really nerve-wracking. It keeps you on edge. And sometimes, if it's severe, then it kills you. And nobody that doesn't want to go wants something like this to just come along and take them. So how will we come together? We'll come back together when we start working, people back on their jobs, making some money. The economy is back up and running. But hopefully the administration that's in there now will never get back in again. Nothing like this needs to ever happen to us again. To let us know that we're a divided nation. So since we know that we're a divided nation, it's time to start healing. And let's get some of this hatred out of the air so we can go on and do whatever it is that we're trying to do in America. Now, if that's not what we're going to do, then we won't come back together. And if we cannot come back together, there are outside entities that will make us come back together. And some of those things that will cause us to return to the United States is if something happened over here where we had to eliminate a faction to bring about some peace. And nobody really wants that over here. You know, anybody that knows anything about war, know that you don't want war where you live. You don't even want war in the country that you live. Because as big as this country is over here, it would definitely have some effect from coast to coast. So we got to figure out some ways how to muster up some love for some people that don't love us. And that's what we are supposed to do, especially if we call ourselves Christians. It's love the people that don't love you back. It's don't hate your enemy. It's all of that. But we got people out there that want to say they Christians that want to burn the whole thing down and start all over. Trying to call somebody that wanted to be a Putin a crusader of Jesus Christ. And I thought crusaders of Christ promoted the things that Christ promoted. Like love your neighbor like you love yourself. How you deal with strangers. How you deal with people that are the wayfarers. I mean, just nothing that this administration did to me had anything to do about God being in it. It was about somebody trying to be like God and take over this nation and make this nation like the other nations that he admired. And he admired those nations because the people that run them are ruthless. Just straight ruthless. Don't matter what the people want. We giving you what we want you to have. And I can't understand for the life of me that why people over here wanted to follow something like that. What made them think they was going to be so secure? And this wasn't gonna, this oligarchy wasn't going to turn on them next, because he was. The minute something would have came up where it would have been some agreement, people's heads would be on stakes. And I think that's just about how far this would have went had another election been given over to this administration. And it's good to see some of the people that have followed him are beginning to fall off. Jump off. Actually, jump off the wagon. Hurry up and get off it. So there's some things that we got to do, America. A lot of things that we don't even want to do. But just because you live next door to some people that's flying a different flag than what you're flying, don't mean you can't get along. Because before anybody knew what flag anybody was flying, 90% of the people was getting along. But as soon as people saw Biden signs and saw Trump signs flying all over the place, everybody just got beside themselves. Everybody, both sides. So hate didn't have anywhere to go but out towards anybody that was out there trying to do something positive. So we can't let the United States be the divided United States any longer. Not for one more day. Because the longer we fight over here with each other, the easier it is for us to be infiltrated. And they've already shown us that. While our backs are turned, people are stabbing us in the back. While our defenses are down and we over here struggling to survive because we got a president that wants us not to survive so he can survive and be the ruling party over here, because he would be the only ruling party. It wouldn't be no Democrats. It wouldn't be no Republicans. It's another reason why I don't understand. How could you follow somebody down a hole where he gonna get stuck first and then you gonna get stuck? Both of y'all stuck in a hole. Why would anybody want to be stuck in a hole? And they know it's a hole. People are foolish. And when they see opportunity come for them to get richer, they pour it on, because through all of this, the only people that have gained anything are the rich. We have not gained anything. We have lost 300 and some million, 300 and some thousand people. And it seems like the people at the top ain't concerned. I would think that the people that's down here having all the problems would be concerned. And that's what would pull them out to vote, to get rid of some of these people that are not concerned, especially about us. They're not concerned about us. Now, what happens if we don't become back to the United States of America, the country that everybody is looking at and everybody is paying attention to, and we are trying to get them to emulate us? So what happens if we don't get back together? Other countries are going to be trying to get what we got. It's just that simple. However, by whatever means necessary. Maybe not just by physical warfare, maybe chemical warfare. Because they definitely all up in our cyber warfare. They definitely win in that. If we don't regroup, we won't be the United States of America. We won't be the most powerful country in the world. We won't be none of that anymore. And there are powers working right now to make sure that that ends, that reign ends. And that's what is trying to happen right here. Just take us off the map. We out here in the ocean by ourselves in a dinghy with a captain that's the same thing. So what happens if we don't come back together? You figure out a scenario yourself, because it'll probably be true. Because if America doesn't come back together, if we were anything like glue to this world, we ain't glue no more. If Christianity was a powerful thing in the minds of people outside of our nation, it's not anymore. Everything that has been built up for the past 400 and some years has been torn, is being torn down, and has been being torn down from 2016 to 2020. And you got 70 million people ready to go down. 70 million? 70 million. God have mercy on America. Because if people don't start telling people about the power of God, and the people that's supposed to be telling all the people this are the people that's following somebody else. They ain't following God's way. So I just want to say, peace and blessings to everybody. And I hope that peace abounds over here in the United States, regardless to what's supposed to come, regardless to what wrath may be coming towards this country or has already been here. Regardless to that, keep your eye on God. Because if you do that, keep your eye on his laws and his ways and do those. And if you do that, you don't have nothing to worry about. Not a thing. Doesn't matter if you're poor. middle class, or filthy rich. It's all about what you do when you're dealing with somebody else. Peace out, America. I hope and I pray for the next 4 years better than what we had prepared for. Peace out. You know the word twice.